Yo, it's Volksgeist, and I'm recording this at like 1 in the morning, and I'm pretty sure my neighbors are screaming outside, but I just want to give a little context to this project. A little over a month ago, I uploaded a video called How TikTok is Breaking the Music Industry, and in that video I talked about the idea that while TikTok has been a huge boost to the careers of many musical artists, it's becoming very difficult for those virally successful artists to find long-term, stable careers. I put two pictures in the thumbnail, one of Charlie D'Amelio, a TikTok star who pretty much everyone knows about, and one of Savage Gasp, a rapper who first blew up on TikTok last year and who a lot of people see as one of the biggest and earliest success stories on the music side of TikTok. Just a few days after I put up that video, Savage Gasp and his team invited me to go out to LA and talk to him about his experience as a musician who owes a lot of his success to the TikTok algorithm. This isn't what I would normally make, but I think it's a really interesting and informative video with some fun stuff in there too, so I hope you enjoy it.
Minecraft commentary on, and he like loaned it to me, and then my parents had like an old computer that I like recorded on, and I got GarageBand, and literally like it was just it's completely started off as just me like making shit for fun with like those kids that went to my school and just like having a good time, like no goal of like actually being a rapper, but just like making music.
Yo. If someone doesn't know you, who like, if you had to describe yourself and like compare yourself to someone else, or like say what scene you're a part of, how could you explain to someone who you are, like not using your own name, like using other people's names?
I would say that it's like a mix between like, it's like 2009 Drake mixed with like Skrillex mixed with like I don't even like mixed with some kind of sometimes Post Malone vibes. Those are these.
Those.
At the Gucci store.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just Mickeys. I don't really like Gucci at all, but I do like Mickey Mouse, so I had to compromise a little. Wait, I want to see. Where's the bigger view? Did y'all like? Oh my God! Whoa, that shit is fire. Why were you capping like it wasn't cool? Awesome.
The back seats are a little small, I'm not gonna lie.
Yo, we're going top down.
Yeah.
Dang, I feel like a real rapper.
She said she don't like me on drugs, but really that's the best me. She said don't do too many drugs, but I like life a little zesty. She said never talk to me again, and then she texted me.
Either Let Me Die or The Long Halloween with Elise. That song is really fucking good too. Actually, Shooting Star Mountain, bro, there's literally like 5 that I like.
I mean, they're all good.
That I like really like a lot.
Which one took the longest?
Oh, to make?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question. Process-wise, Let Me Die, but like, actually no, Shooting Star Mount Silver. I started that song in November 2019, and I finished that song a month ago.
That's a long time.
A lot of versions, a lot of changes, a lot of edits, a lot of different things going on. But like in the end, I'm like happy with it. It was super worth keeping that one song on the project for a straight year and just sitting on it. Because I feel like when people hear that as the intro and like that piano starts after the tag, like they're going to be like, oh shit. It just sounds like a level up from everything. Oh, who's that? Wait, look. Look, who's that over there? Woo! Oh, look at that man right there. It's freaking me. Crazy. Damn. Oh, wait, so many Gaspers around the city.
You gotta hop out anyway.
Should we say hi to it? Yeah. Should we say hi to me?
Yep.
We're one of the many Gaspers around the city of Los Angeles. We've spotted the boy. Tits out. Looking a little, I don't know, looking kind of handsome actually.
There you go.
Nice. Love it. This is such a nice day though. We got fucking #1 on Hyperpop, a billboard, and I need to eat food, and then I think it'll be...
So you grew up in Kentucky.
So I didn't like grow up in Kentucky. I moved to Kentucky, I want to say like 2014 maybe. I lived in a bunch of different places because my dad was in the army. And dude, I've lived like pretty much everywhere. Like I lived in California, Arizona, Kansas, Kentucky, Texas, like a bunch of places. And Kentucky was just where I spent my last 2 years of high school. But I like consider that to be home because I feel like I went through the most growth there, like as a human being, and the beginning stages of me like becoming an artist like kind of happened there. So it's like I hold it close.
Where did you live in Texas?
I lived in El Paso.
Oh, okay. I used to live in San Angelo for a little bit.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, terrible.
yeah. El Paso wasn't that cool.
Yeah.
It was just mostly like me getting bullied.
Or like 3 or 4 years ago you finished high school?
Yeah, I graduated June 2017.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so then after high school I like had a couple jobs and kind of just like lived all over the place. Like I lived in Boston, I lived in Maine, I lived in New York, slept on people's couches, like slept in my car, slept like wherever, like made a bunch of friends like through SoundCloud and like through the internet, and kind of just like spent almost the last like 3 years up until last September like in New York, Boston, whatever, like working, going back and forth between Maine, Boston, and New York, like meeting with people from SoundCloud, like trying to like make music, you know, just like I don't know. It was actually like a lot of fun though. Like despite the like sleeping on people's couches and like shit, like driving, having no money, it was like a good time like reflecting back on it because I met some of like my lifelong friends then.
Yeah. So you've been a lot of places. Would you say that like it's possible to find success anywhere?
Yeah, I think honestly, bro, with the internet, it's like if you're not like trying wherever you are, you're like selling yourself short, because you could really just be like, and I feel like especially now, like a lot of kids have like shown this besides me, you could really like be from anywhere, use the internet, like use your like resources that you have available to you, whether that be like whatever kind of recording setup or like it doesn't really matter, like learning how to mix yourself. Like I don't know, you could do a lot from your phone and you could do a lot from your laptop, and I feel like it truly doesn't matter where you are if you're like being creative and like making your shit.
So we're in LA right now. So
yeah.
What happens when you're living in like Maine and Boston and then you are now here? What happened to like flip the switch where you're like, okay, it's time?
Really like TikTok happened.
Yeah.
There was just this one day that I was like at work, and this girl from like my high school that I hadn't talked to in a really long time was like, yo, like so and so just like posted your video like on this thing called TikTok, and like it has like a bunch of likes and a bunch of people are commenting. And I was like, I didn't really like know what that meant. I was like, cool, like someone like used my song or whatever. And then like I started seeing it happen, like people were like gravitating towards the song like more and more and more and more, and until it became like I guess like a thing. And then it started transferring to Spotify from TikTok. Like as the song was doing well on TikTok, like my Spotify like monthly listeners started going up, and this is all while I'm like working my job. So I was like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on? So like a couple months into that, like labels start hitting me up, and TikTok themselves starts hitting me up and like promoting the song, and it's like doing really good. Like I'm going to work, and then on the weekends or like Friday night, Thursday night, like I'm taking like label meetings in New York. And it was a whole thing. That all summer 2019 was all just me taking label meetings in New York, like going around like with friends, like working on stuff, like trying to put together like an album at that time to like show people, because I didn't really like.
Low-key, the worst part of the trip was when we almost got arrested for taking a video off Mulholland Drive. I wasn't originally going to include this, but I think it's kind of fun. We ended up just getting a couple $100 in tickets instead of going to jail for the night.
Mr. Domico, Felico? Okay, you guys can't be here. These are civil citations in lieu of the misdemeanor. That sign says misdemeanor. That's $1,000. That's mandatory court appearances.
I think one of the most interesting things about how they do things around here is that they don't go to studios. Even before COVID, they were just making most of their music in their house on their laptops.
I don't know if I want it like that.
signing to a label, I had to like make this choice of like, should I get like big features and producers, or should I just stick with the boys? And like, I think sticking with the boys is what I'll hopefully do for my entire career. I made this album with like only my friends. No one came and helped us. Easily less than 20 people. Everyone that like worked on it with me, I like know personally, and I would consider them a friend.
Who were like the top 3 people?
It was Evan, Christian, and Mark, I think, that worked on it the most with me. Marvier worked on it with me a lot too. Shout out Marvier, he's a fucking goat. He worked on it like later on. I made Flip Phone with him, and then a couple songs that got cut, or Simp Anthem too, that came out as a single. Marvier is super good. The Way You Make Me Feel is with Marvier. Who else? I literally, bro, the 4 of us, me, Evan, Christian, and Mark, like, spent the longest time, like, working on it together. Really, me and Evan, like, really locked in, like, second half of the year. First half of making the album was, like, the 4 of us, and then literally me and Evan locking in, like...
Telling me earlier, like, what were you were on the East Coast, and, like, what were you working, like, what were you doing back then?
I, like, did a bunch of things, but I was telling you, like, the most recent job I had, I was, like, working at that shipyard, like, doing, like, outdoor labor, like, in the winter time in Boston.
Yeah.
Like, shit. It was shit.
Yeah.
Not everything was shit. Like, I met good people and, like, hung out with cool dudes from that job. But overall, like, man, it's fucking 20 degrees outside and you're, like, wet and cold and you like, don't want to be outside and you're, like, waking up at 4 a.m. to go outside every day and you're like, fuck. Why can't I just, like, make music?
I mean, I think, like, when people hear Savage Gasp, they're not going to immediately, like, associate you with, like, a struggle story, right? But, like, that's definitely there, like, the come up and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, like, shit, okay, so, like, life at home, like, as a child and stuff, like, I love my parents, they're, like, amazing, everything's cool there, but it's, like, the after high school thing, like, that part of it, which was, like, a little bit harder.
I mean, when you become responsible for yourself, like, 99% of people don't know what the fuck they're doing.
And I really didn't for, like, a while. Yeah. That was tough.
Last year, I was a janitor, and, like, so that was, like, I know what that's like. Like, that shit is stupid, bro. So, like...
It's, like, uncertain, too. Because it's, like, you want to do something, and you're, like, stuck in something else, and it's, like, a weird limbo state. It was for me. It felt like a weird, like, limbo phase in my life for a while.
Yeah. It was definitely, like, make YouTube videos 8 hours a day, janitor 6 hours a day. Like, oh no, I just did 14 hours of work and I'm dying.
Exactly, and then you're fucking tired, and then you got to get up and do it all over. Yo, I completely get it.
Yeah, so that's kind of like something that people like don't even think about. If it's not part of your main identity, like people wouldn't know how hard you worked for it.
Yeah, I've never been one to like say too much. Like I feel like I try to like say what I need to say and not much more than that, and like let shit kind of just speak for itself. And if like people figure shit out or like whatever, or like see things a certain way, like I just let them. Yeah. That's just how I am, like, as a person. Like, I never feel like I need to, like, go out and be like, this is my story, like, this is me, like, you should feel bad for me, or you should be proud of me because of this, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like shit just kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah, that's a good perspective. I think it's definitely become, like, an easy, like, almost like a cheat code to just be like, yeah, my life is hard and shit like that. And, like, not knowing anything about you made me more interested in you. Like, about you, the person.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm like happy that I don't know. Yeah, that makes me feel good though, because I said I don't try to give too much away, so I'm happy that you said that.
I mean, I was literally like thinking like all the time, like I'm gonna go here in like 2 weeks. I don't know anything about this guy, like, and it's cool. Like I really was like, damn, this could actually be really fun to know more about him, and like it was. Like I'm glad that I know more about you now, and I didn't have to like find out through like online or something like that.
Yeah.
This is off camera, but like, do you have a real name? Probably the most notable thing about Gasper's appearance is the dozens of tattoos he has, so obviously he wanted to get another one for the video, too.
Oh, the October's Lullaby vid in an hour.
Yeah. You guys made a video?
It's like a lyric video, like, of just like web.
It actually turned out really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of fun vibes.
I guess this kind of ties into the last question, like, you're in LA now, you've lived here for like a year, do you think that there are things about being here that you don't really like? Like maybe you kind of hold on to like that older part of you and like want to go back to it one day or something like that?
Yeah, I love like, I don't know, see, because like, I don't want to contradict myself because I love being in New York. Like I love how it's like fast, you can walk everywhere, take the subway, like everyone's always, it's like chattery. I think like LA is like a bit more laid back and a little bit too like spread out. Like I hate driving a lot. which I don't drive. I got in like an accident a couple years ago, and I like haven't really driven a car since then. I don't even like being in the car now because it like scares me a little bit.
I'm sorry for all the speeding earlier.
No, it's okay. But like it just gives me so much anxiety, and it's just like not for me. That's like one thing I really don't like. I don't know. I like a lot of things about LA. It's like a very solid place to be if you're like ready for that in your life. But I think like if someone's like watching out there that is in like a small town or whatever, like stay for a little bit and like don't let like the good times then like pass you by, and don't take it for granted, because you'll like look back when you're like in LA or like wherever you end up, and you'll be like, damn, like I miss my friends. Like for me in Kentucky, like I miss like going to the lake and like hanging out with my friends and like having barbecues or like bonfires and like chilling and like not worrying about anything really.
Yeah.
No, living like a lot like of a simpler, like chiller life, you know what I mean?
First, what the hell you doing?
But at the end of the day, like, what is this for? Like, what are you trying to get out of it?
Like music or like life?
I guess both, right?
Okay. So I feel like my goal as a human being on this earth is to like use like the things that I create to like better the lives of others that maybe, I don't know, could relate to me, or the things that I do, like, you know, find comfort in it, like find enjoyment in it, like, I don't know, just generally try to like look back on myself in like shitty situations and make the music for like the kid that's like in that situation, and like that's the thing that's like making their day, just as like maybe one of my favorite artists did that for me at that time. I think that that's like one of my like big goals, and just to like, I don't know, like kind of just keep growing and like building on myself and challenging myself to get better and having fun, like making friends along the way, and like not maybe doing everything like how people would like traditionally like look at like a rapper or like whatever. I'd rather just like be myself, do everything with my friends, and like, you know, just do me, I guess. That's it.
Just a few days before we got to LA, around a month ago, Gasper dropped a collab with Corpse, this super mysterious, faceless streamer, artist, and YouTuber who gets huge engagement on pretty much everything he does.
How did our collab go down? Because of the type of music I make, he was probably one of my most requested features at a point, and I was already familiar with his music, so I could tell exactly what people were thinking in their head. And a fan tweeted both of us that we should make something, and at that time we hadn't spoken before. And I was like, you know what? I don't see me collabing with a lot of people, but I could definitely hear him and I on a track together, and I just have been liking the way he's been developing. So I tweeted at him that I'd be down. He said, let's do it, and we fucking did it.
When we first got to LA, their song probably had 100,000 streams. But by the time we were leaving, like 4 or 5 days later, it was on its way to 1 million. And now, a month later, it's on the top of Gasper's Spotify with more than 14 million plays, over 500,000 per day. Also having boosted him from 1.8 million monthly listeners to more than 3 million. And look, I don't want to sound like I'm getting paid to say this, but that's a huge boost for his career, and I honestly think a really good sign for TikTok's effect on the music industry as a whole. A lot of people who blow up on TikTok as artists would have already faded away within that amount of time. But my stay in LA with Gasper and his friends really opened my eyes to the other side of the coin. Just how beneficial TikTok has been for many artists who work hard, stay focused, and stay down to earth, keeping their ultimate goals in mind. It's people like that who are going to give TikTok artists a good name and make sure that they turn their 15 minutes of fame into a lifetime of music. So thanks for having me, Gasper, and I hope everyone enjoyed the video and hopefully learned a bit more about the art and the industry. This has been Volksgeist. Thank you for watching.
What the hell you doing?
I wanna finish this album. Bitch, yup.